Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Rift Rivals 2017. This is, after all, the fight between the regions from Oceania, Southeast Asia, and Japan. And here we are at the finals between the GPL region and LJL. Of course, we'll be your shoutcasters for the second game. I'm Atlas. With me is Amplifier. We just got back from that very dominating win from the third seed of LJL, and that was very impressive. They just took out surgically Mineski. So let's get into our drafting phase here between the second seeds, Ascension Gaming versus Detonation Focus Me.
All right, so let's see how the pick and ban phase goes. Ash and Rek'Sai immediately being taken away, and like we were saying earlier, as we saw during the group stage, this was the champion that really helped Detonation Focus Me to win the last time they faced Ascension Gaming. So Rek'Sai not going to be available for steal this time. Meanwhile, Elise and Kalista being taken out on the side of DFM.
Ban away from Lloyd as well. I really like the Ash ban as well because together with Rek'Sai, they also use that utility AD carry very, very well against their fight against Detonation Focus Me. Let's see here what the last bans for these two teams are.
Yeah, a lot of junglers still open, but the Ash and Varus both taken out now. So
utility AD carries banned out from Detonation Focus Me. So this is going to be pretty big. So the pool here for AD carries is going to be very, very small compared to other games here in Ref Rivals. We'll see how Detonation Focus Me actually responds to that. Banning Zac out against Nooney here. Very, very important here because even if it is a respect ban against Nooney, it is just a very, very good ban in general.
Yeah, and of course, we are going to see the Caitlyn again. So Ascension is going to be locking that one in first, and we'll have to see what the next two will be for Detonation Focus Me. Of course, there are still a lot of other picks available. Ash, though, which was the favorite of Utapon during the group stage, we won't be seeing that. So I wonder what he'll lock in this time.
Because there's a lot of AD carries banned away.
Yeah.
The Kalista is banned out. The Ash and Varus, two very powerful utility AD carries, are also banned out. So I'm really interested in seeing how Detonation Focus Me will react to this. One half of their bot lane locked in the Thresh here, so no AD carry just yet, keeping Ascension Gaming on their toes. We'll see what their next pick in for here. For steal, it might be the Lee Sin. Very, very possible with Elise and Rek'Sai banned away. Lee Sin very, very powerful in this patch.
Yeah, and this could be still quite similar in performance to his Rek'Sai, because when we saw him on the Rek'Sai before, he really was sort of the driving force for DFM, really helping them, gain that momentum into the mid game. So maybe if he does have that skill as well on Lee Sin, we might see a similar pattern.
Yeah, that's true, because if you consider what do you want from the Rek'Sai, early ganking potential, and also the ability to bypass wards and be very, very mobile in your ganking path and your clearing. Lee Sin has all of that. Also the damage as well. If you want execution from a Void Rush, there's also Resonating Strike, which has damage that scales off. So it's very, very similar to how Rek'Sai plays, but of course it also falls off in a similar way. We'll see how Detonation Focus Me will be able to play around that. As for Ascension Gaming, they will be going with that Gragas. Might go top, might go for the jungle here. So mid lane Corki, very, very popular in Rift Rivals this year.
Yeah, definitely. It has really been performing well, and if it's able to scale, it really does an insane amount of damage towards that mid to late game. But Jhin, as expected, since a lot of the AD carries were banned, we're going to be seeing Jhin this time up against the Caitlyn. No support yet though for Ascension, so we're still left to guess.
Might actually be able to exploit the middle ground of that Thresh, as well as the high damage but low mobility of that Jhin. We'll see how Ascension Gaming plays out, but of course let's go to the second banning phase first. Rendren will not be playing that Renekton. He did play it in a few of his games in this Rift Rivals.
Played it twice during the group stage, although...
It was actually like all of the games.
Yeah, pretty much. We will be seeing him this time, and
Ziggs actually
removed.
banned away from Detonation Focus Me.
Yeah, so he did use him once and actually used it really well. One thing to commend for DFM, and I think in general, LJL did surprise us actually, because a lot of the teams from LJL, they performed really well. They're coordinated, they're always on the same page, and in general, the way they play together.
Very impressive how they're
really
always on the same page.
Yeah.
They're very well synergized, even despite the natural communication issues that might come up from having Korean imports. Their communication is always on point. Like when they try to go for objectives, they go for team fights, their targeting and all their rotations are very, very well placed. And Ziggs banned away from Detonation Focus Me, as you said. I think it's very appropriate that a team called Detonation Focus Me plays the Ziggs very, very well, and this is banned away against them. Paz will not be playing that Fiora as well. Definitely not something I want to face if they're going for the top Gragas here.
Yeah.
But this is a flex pick coming from Ascension Gaming. As for Destination Focus Me, Talia is a very good pick here.
Yeah, definitely true. Did he? No, actually, we haven't seen Seros on that. Oh, it's going to be the Oriana. So seeing a new champion on Seros this time. Since they that's the thing, you know, when LJL was in the group stage, they only had to play 2 games because they went straight over to the final slot.
Didn't have to reveal a lot of information.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of cards up their sleeve that they can still show during this final, so we'll have to see how they perform on these champions. But Ascension locking in their final team composition, and it's going to be Jarvan and Morgana.
So a lot of engaged potential coming from Ascension Gaming. Imagine the Cataclysm forward and then follow it up with a Soul Shackles. Very, very potent, as well as a lot of protection for Lloyd here with a Black Shield. As for Detonation Focus Me, very good balance so far. If they lock in this Shen, that means Yutapon is going to be very, very safe if you combine it with the Dark Passage and the rest of peeling that Vivid can actually put out.
Yeah, that's actually a crap load of shields for this Jhin once we get into the game. That's really going to be able to keep him safe. Meanwhile, the Lee Sin, maybe, you know, we might see again, like we said, Steel performing really well on the Rek'Sai. Maybe it'll carry over to his performance on Lee Sin. We don't know that for sure.
There's a high possibility because they play very, very similarly. As for Detonation Focus Me, I'm very scared when it comes to the mid-game and late game. Those ball delivery services that Detonation Focus Me has. With a Resonating Strike in, even with just the Stand United into the Shadow Dash, that's a very good ball delivery service. So that could actually set up everything for Yutapon, and Seros can just continue with his own utility. As for Ascension Gaming, they have a very explosive team composition. If they get very good ultimates in, they'll just wipe out Detonation Focus Me, because this is not a very tanky team. The tankiest members here are Paz and Vivid, and Steel will have to transition to that tank phase. But once they get onto Yutapon or Seros, it's going to be a very, very quick job here. Let's see here the coaches. That's going to be Cabbage shaking hands with a coach of Detonation Focus Me as our teams just wait and load up into the Rift. It's going to be very exciting to see here, because if Ascension loses this, it's going to be very heavy onto GAM.
Yes.
But if they win this, it's going to be a very good momentum for Garena Premier League's teams. If GAM, because GAM's going to be playing 2 games after this, and they are, as we've seen, they were a very, very powerful team, just completely carrying the region in the King of the Hill series yesterday.
Yeah, that was crazy, eliminating the entire Oceanic Pro League, 3 teams in a row to carry C over into the finals. It was really crazy, and like you said, there's a lot of pressure on C right now, because if Ascension, you know, hopefully they can win this, but if they don't win this game, it'll be up to GAM to try and secure the next 2 games to follow.
Yeah, but the thing is, if they lose this game against Detonation Focus Me, and then GAM wins 2 games, the last game, Game 5, will be up to Ascension versus Detonation Focus Me, and then Detonation Focus Me has the momentum for that matchup. So this is really momentous for Ascension to really get this. Of course, we have loaded here onto the Rift for Ascension versus Detonation Focus Me. This is a second game for this best of 5 between regions.
Indeed, if it does make it to a best of 5, that's the biggest question right now, since LJL really are dominating so far, at least for this side of the Rift rivals. And we'll
Look at this cheeky positioning here. Anyone that gets outside of the brush on the blue buff side of Ascension will have a very tasty death sentence in his face.
Nooney moving back and forth, but the rest of his team really just taking a defensive position here. Caitlyn, Morgana both down there, and Corki on the other side of the river as well. I don't think DFM will push for this.
Yeah, I think they're just waiting for an opportunity. But if the opportunity doesn't show itself, it's not a big loss for them. They were still able to put out defense for the entrances of their jungler. So it's still very benign of a start coming from LJL's DFM here.
Yeah, and everyone moving back over to their standard lanes. Pretty much a standard start so far. And we're going to be looking into the laning phase. This is really where we want to watch the jungler's movements as well. Wait, there's the bottom lane of DFM moving in, pushing them out, and actually flaying a couple of the Raptors there. That's going to be some gold. Oh, wait, but there might be
some revenge.
Catch off here. A bit of an ambush, dodging the Dark Binding. Yutapon flashing through. And Vivid also making it out, but that's going to be costly. A lot of time taken away from DFM there.
And most importantly as well, it's going to be, I think it's actually better for DFM there, because if you consider this, That's 3 small Raptors taken away from Nooney. So this puts him in a disadvantage where he has to go for the Wolves. And look at that steal going already for the blue buff while Nooney is distracted. Man, DFM is just playing them like a fiddle right now. So once Nooney reaches his blue buff here, he'll find it gone. He's at half health, and Steel will have double buffs while he has none. So this will be an easy kill as well. If they find each other here.
I wonder if they'll find each other, though. This could be a potential 3 buff start for
He's level
Steel.
3 as well. Okay.
Is he going to move in? He's actually at full health right now, and he's going to get spotted out by that ward, and Gragas actually does see him, so he'll be backing over, moving straight to the red buff.
What a wonderful start there for Detonation Focus Me, putting Ascension in the back foot already. Those 3 small Raptors could actually mean the difference. It did mean the difference here because they were still able to get the level 2. They weren't cheesed by Warlock and Lloyd, so they were still able to get that because of the small XP that the Raptors give to Yutapon.
Steel moving in, actually. Nooney being forced to flash. There is a Resonating Strike. It connects, and he's going to go down. Warlock trying to help, but it's not going to be enough in the first blood. Oh, actually going over to Yutapon G4 here, putting down the damage. The rest of everyone's actually colliding here, and that's going to be everyone backing off. It's going to be 1-0, and DFM again with the momentum in this early game. Things looking really good for them.
And really bad for Ascension, because that is going to be a death for this jungler here. Nooney falls down, and the first blood actually goes to Yutapon. So that's 400 gold, another boost in XP against this bot lane of Ascension. It's just such a good setup for DFM's bot lane. And Yutapon's going to be a very, very scary Jhin once he gets his items. And Steel, I love how he rotates. And it seems like the skill he has on Rek'Sai, the proficiency, just gets carried over to this Lee Sin. Look at that, aggressively always rotating, not letting Nooney catch a break. Oof. This is Nooney starting with 0 buffs this game. And even here, he survives by smiting the red buff, the Brambleback, and sets up the rest of his team with a backup. They do only get 1 kill, but that's already so huge because look at this. 1.4k gold lead at 5 minutes. 4 minutes and 20. That's huge. And even though Nooney gets the red buff, that's not too big because already Steel level 4, and now he's going to be more in a position to gank for his teammates.
Really well played by DFM so far. Things looking a bit grim for ASC as they try to hold on with the rest of the C region. But so for now, DFM will be pushing this down. Bit of CS lead actually for all of the lanes of DFM as well.
They definitely need to survive this, because this is a team composition that scales very, very well with 280 carries. But if they don't survive that, if Steel is able to put out the Lee Sin pressure that survives through the mid game, it's going to be a pain in the butt for ASC to actually get back in this game.
Mid game definitely will be the shining moment for DFM's team composition. Paz pushing in just a bit here. Lee Sin actually moving over to top lane. Gonna get the scuttle. Don't know if he'll go for the dive. Not level 6 just yet though. So yeah, probably
going to recall. That's definitely juicy there. 16 CS, stealing getting 3 buffs actually throughout the map will put him quite ahead in terms of the gold. We'll be seeing how he itemizes. If he goes for 2 longswords into the Caulfield's Warhammer, it's going to mean that he's going to want to get even more ganks. But if he goes for the Tracker's Knife, which I think he might, okay, he's still going for more resource stealing against Nooney. Look at that. Nooney cannot catch a break this game.
Starving Santa here, and he's only level 3 so far. Will he be able to steal this
level
wolf
5
as
from
well?
Nooney.
Yeah,
it's gonna be very. It's too dangerous to stay there.
Yeah.
Because Ren might actually come in G4 as well, so he's going to give that up. But still, level 5 to level 3 at 6 minutes in the game. That's a huge lead for Lee Sin. Definitely something that this Lee Sin wants to have. Steel very happy with that.
Continues to get higher and higher, approaching 2,000 at 6 minutes in.
Oh man, that is a huge pain for Ascension. And I was talking about, will he go for the 2 longswords or the Tracker's Knife? It seems like he was rich enough to actually get both of them. Exactly. And that's enough. He doesn't need to go for the Caulfield's Warhammer just yet. The Tracker's Knife, good enough for the safeguard setup, as well as the 2 longswords enough for that damage, because the Caulfield's Warhammer only gives you 5 bonus attack damage, so not a huge trade-off when there's so much mobility given to you by the Tracker's Knife. So good pickup here by Steel.
Looks like Steel's actually going to continue to pressure Nooney, but Nooney making some moves of his own, putting a bit of vision on the enemy jungle, and we'll see if he can make any moves. But right now, he's been stuck at level 3 for around 3 minutes or so. That's really not looking good for him.
Starving Santa, as you said. I mean, Gragas does need a little bit of a diet, but this is too much.
Yeah, this is too much.
Feeling the pain
Cold turkey diet. I don't think that's how it works here. It's not going to help Nooney right now. He's really suffering.
The mechanics of, oh, look at that. He's below half of the XP that Paz has, level 7 to level 3. And because of this, Paz has the confidence to actually go in and invade. Oh, Nooney, I think, has to go down here.
But the body slam going to keep him safe, and he'll be moving back a bit. But Steel, with the pressure.
Paz is going for it. So this is going to keep Nooney at level 3 still. And because he's level 7 and Steel is level 5, he can't go for this.
Oh, not level 6, but that's going to be a blue buff to Zeros right now. So this advantage that Steel and the bot lane of DFM actually created in the early game now starting to translate over to the other lanes, as really there is a CS lead as well in mid.
Because there's no pressure from Nooney. The other lanes are free to push in and pressure their lane opponents on the side of DFM, while Ascension just has to lie down and take it, survive through it, which is honestly fine, but ideally, Nooney has to be able to get this early pressure out to have value as a Gragas. Steel going for a gank in mid lane? No, just a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, actually Corki going to be backing there. There definitely is a lot of pressure coming from Steel right now, and really the big question during the pick and ban was, would ASC be able to withstand that mid game? And right now, I'm not so sure, because DFM's looking really scary and does look like they'll be scaling very well. Yeah,
even early game is an ordeal so far for Ascension, so I'm scared about their mid game. But we'll see. This pressure from Steel has to plateau at some point.
Yeah.
Because of the mechanics of experience, Nooney will gain levels much faster since he's been behind. He's still going to be behind, but it's not going to be as bad as being stuck at level 3 for 3 minutes. But for now, he's level 5 to Steel's level 6, so not too bad at this point, but Steel is taking more objectives than he is.
Yeah, there's going to be the Cloud Drake for free there for Steel.
Yeah, for free. Cloud Drake, we make fun of Cloud Drake a lot, but if you get it for free, that's value right there.
Definitely, and it's going to be a bit of movement speed to help continue to pressure the other lanes here for the Detonation Focus Me, and Paz just having a bit of a duel here with Renrin as ASC continue to hold on and try to find some way to hold on and scale better into this mid game.
Yeah.
Any ganks here? No, just a bit of a duel still. And there's a lot of movement toward bot lane right now. Lloyd getting caught there, just flashes out of the range there from the curtain call in time with the Black Shield as well to save him.
G4 with a package might go for something, but of course, with Lloyd unavailable, out of commission for now, has to save that huge Valkyrie for now.
DFM moving in, but they will be moving out. Not much vision there, so it would have been dangerous to push that in. Instead, they're going to be going over to mid lane.
Finally, Nooney's level 6, on par with Steel, and even equaling the CS as well, 33 to 34. So the rubber band mechanics of the game for junglers, actually, it's very seldom that we see the rubber band mechanic happening. When you're low level and you're trying to get back, you level much faster. It's very rarely that we see that in pro play. And we saw that here. Very, very huge. And now Nooney, a little bit of a revenge here. Cheat day, just going to eat all of those Raptors. Free fried chicken for him. It's going to be very tasty.
Well, he was starved of those in the early game, so
he deserves it. He deserves that little treat. Of course, it's going to be a question of, can he turn this comeback, a little bit of a comeback, into pressure for his team? Because that's what you want from a Gragas in the early game. Seems like for now, he still has to catch up, though.
Yeah, Corki still quite behind in CS here as they look towards maybe other objectives. Rift Herald is up in Jarvan. Rather, Renrin putting a bit of vision deeper into the enemy jungle.
Okay, now the pressure from Steel has plateaued.
Yeah,
and the longer
this
this
is going to be a bit
game
of a slowdown, I think, up into
it's going to slow down, which will be helpful for Ascension, knowing their composition, which has 2 AD carries, 2 frontliners, very good balance, plus the Black Shield will be very helpful as well. So if they can survive this phase of the game, this 2K gold lead, if they sustain this as 2K, it's going to be less and less significant as the game goes on. But definitely that early game, that first 10 minutes of the game, DFM played that to the T, and they will be getting first turret of the game here, giving it onto Seros. Actually, no, giving it onto Steel, so that's going to be this Lee Sin snowballing even further. 600, 300 gold.
Yeah, let's see how they use that. No Stand United or TP plays from Paz just yet, though. Still waiting for that ball delivery.
Oh, they might be
wombo
going for
combo
a dive
that we've been
here.
looking for. Bot lane in a lot of danger. Hook gonna miss there. Lloyd still safe, but there's 4 members here. Still haven't spotted out Steel, but Nooney with the match gank.
There's no way from DFM. They have to pull out of this gank. 4-man would have been very dangerous. It could have been a turning point for either DFM or Ascension.
Very
Because
true.
if Detonation Focus Me got that huge lead by diving really deeply and getting a payoff from it, it's going to be a very scary Jhin. But if Ascension was able to counter that, because they were having members closing in on that, if they got that, it would have been huge for them. It would basically cancel all of Steel's pressure, but of course DFM, having a little bit of mindfulness, just pulls out of that.
Bit of restraint from
Yeah.
DFM.
It's very important because right now they are in the lead. They are very much in the lead at 12 minutes in the game. You're the one that doesn't want to take risks.
Yeah, that's true. And when we recall here, ASC, like you said, it was interesting what you mentioned earlier because looking at the playstyle of ASC ever since the GPL spring, they really weren't the kind of team that would go for the early aggression. But certainly once they hit the mid to late game, their play starts to improve. So had DFM given any kind of lead to ASC, it might have actually been possibly key for ASC to win this game. So DFM still have to keep the respect there. Bit of pressure here on the Rift
Another
Herald.
blue buff stolen away from Ascension.
Might be a gank here. Renrin gonna
It's easy flag and drag out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another blue buff stolen away, given to Seros. So G4 really starving as well because Nooney has been starving. G4 as well needs to feel the pain of that. They are feeling this as a team. Nooney try to go for something here in the bot lane, but there's a little bit of pressure onto Utapon.
Moving into the bush, but there is a ward there, so he won't be getting any side lane ganks just yet. Meanwhile, since the first Blood Turret goal did go over to DFM, that is going to be giving Seros here more freedom to roam and maybe get a shockwave somewhere at top or bot lane right now. It seems like it's going to be a Rift Herald
there's going to be a convergence here in the Rift
G4.
Herald side.
Who's going to get this? It's actually, yes, it's going to go over to Steel. There's a shockwave, but it's not going to connect to anyone. And Renrin, nice Cataclysm, 3-man Cataclysm, but will there be follow-up? G4 all alone here, no one to save him, and he's going to go down. There's going to be Paz getting the kill there. And this Rift Herald will be going, over to Seros actually.
And this is the shortest lane in the map, right? Mid lane. And because Seros is way ahead of G4, even with the first gold on him, that just means, and he has a lot of wave clear as well. Compared to Paz, there's a lot of wave clear onto Seros. So he can just completely push in this mid lane along with Steel's pressure, and they can go for another turret here. And second tier turret onto DFM in the mid lane means that the map control will just multiply. So it's gonna be very hard for Ascension. And looking at that, that's another kill onto Paz, right? So it's gonna make Renrin's job as well in the top lane harder.
Yes, that's definitely true. I'm interested to see how this Rift Herald will be used. Will Seros use it here or try to take another outer turret out? We'll have to see. But right now the gold lead, almost 5,000 at 14 minutes in and continues to grow. What will the next Drake be? If this is an Infernal or Earth Mountain Drake, could be very dangerous for ASC. But Steel moving in, trying to pressure the enemy jungle, maybe putting in some vision before the Drake pops up.
And Nooney really is feeling the pressure here, always on his toes. It seemed like it's going to be another Cloud Drake. Won't be too big of a priority, but it can set up for the next fight. But I don't think either of these teams will be committing too much onto a Cloud Drake, but if they can get it for free, they will.
Yeah, we might see a Rift Herald play instead, but so far, yeah, DFM not setting anything up just yet, just putting down the vision and waiting for that play. Might be a bot lane play. We're seeing
very possible, because they've been trying it so many times.
Steel moving down as well. There's vision here though, so they will spot out the 4-man gank here.
Teleport available for both top laners. Seems like DFM still trying to set something up here in the bot lane. Actually going to summon the Rift Herald already.
Ooh.
She will be a huge asset in pushing this because this turret is around at 66% health. The Rift Herald will put it down to around 16%. So they have to be careful how they play this. Look at that.
Land the Q there, and it's almost going down. Still a couple of minions here, and Utapon moving in. Gotta be careful with that short range. 4th bullet, and it actually goes to Seros there, but the Rift Herald does its job. They get another outer turret there.
Oh man,
and
transitioning into a Drake
right after.
This might be an opportunity for Ascension, but they have no vision over this area anymore.
Yeah,
so they have to pull out from it. This is just DFM taking every resource from Ascension without anything in return. The value is practically infinite. Actually, it's undefined. Like if you like the game, 15 move speed, now 30 move speed out of combat. That seems pretty small.
Yeah.
But if you divide it by the cost of that, that's absolutely undefined because Ascension wasn't able to get anything in return for that. Because top lane, Paz was just able to outpush Renrin with his Titanic Hydra. So they couldn't even get any chip damage on the top lane turns and trade for that.
Yeah,
definitely
no
nothing
pressure
in the hands of Ascension right now. 5K. This actually, at this point, 2 Cloud Drake stacks can actually be substantial.
Yeah, that's
30
true.
move speed.
5,000 gold lead as well for DFM. And so far, no pressure at all coming from ASC.
Yeah.
Still waiting to see some form of action, some kind of proactiveness coming from this team. But so far, they haven't shown much yet. We haven't seen
It's a very slow snowball from DFM, but it's definitely manifesting. The 30 move speed might be big for Steel to be able to pressure and rotate around the map much quicker. Because looking at the gold value of this 2 Cloud Drakes, it's pretty much a Moby Boots, which which costs 900. So that's pretty much big value for DFM for free. So true. Ascension needs to be on their toes here because the rotations, the roams from Seros as well will be much faster. So has to be very, very careful. Ascension, I think, trying to establish some control around the river so they know where Steel will be.
That's true.
We'll
Baron still going to take quite a while here at 18 minutes in. And looking at the items so far, Oriana almost with that second item going for the Ludens. And Trinity Force finished here for G4 as well. Going to be seeing the Phage over to, not sure what Renner will get first. But the Titanic Hydra's already done, like you said, for Paz. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
I think Black Cleaver will be the pickup here. Already has a Kindle Gem. I think they really do need the... But even with Armor Shred, who's going to benefit from it? It's just Lloyd. Because G4 at this point deals mostly magic damage.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
So it's just going to be for himself and for Lloyd. So if they do get a turret here, it's going to close the gold gap a little bit more. But it's still going to be big on the side of DFM.
Stand United is up just in case the top lane fight occurs here. Lloyd
damage
with
from
a huge
Unicorn.
chunk, and there's going to be the curtain call moving in the Flay. There's going to be the Ignite as well. Will Lloyd go down? One more hit, and Vivid actually secures the kill there. Warlock trying to run away, but there's nowhere for him to go. Steel just here to put a little more damage, and that's going to be the kill there onto Warlock. Meanwhile, Shockwave at mid lane, but Seros won't be able to take out G4.
Oh, he's going aggressive.
Oh, there's going to be the cast there, and
Oh,
Seros
man.
getting the kill. Will he be able to survive? Oh, he gets the double kill, and the Cataclysm takes him out just in time. Paz here, will he be able to get the kill onto Renrin? Not just yet. That's going to be a 4-for-1.
That is
in a
not
span
a good
of
payoff.
3 minutes.
That is not a good payoff for Ascension. G4 there got greedy and pays for it with his life.
Oh my, Steel actually looking for more blood here, but it's going to be the flag and drag to escape there by Renrin.
Man, definitely. That was so good from... That was a dirty crit coming from Utapon. Putting Lloyd down at that point of health, and then just straight up going for the Deadly Flourish. And once a snare happened, decisively going for the curtain call. And even with the body blocks, the Ignite and the damage coming from Vivid was enough to actually take him down. That was dirty coming from DFM, and it really did good for them.
20 minutes in with a 7,000 gold lead, and Detonation Focus Me really looking to help secure and settle this rivalry with LJL. Looking dominant ever since the group stage. Baron is up, and it's actually Ascension starting this one out. There is not much vision around this area. Actually, no vision at all.
They should get spotted out.
Oh, Seros actually using that one wrong. The Scrying Orb,
the
not
angle
spotting
was
the
not
Baron.
there.
That could be crucial here. It's at half health right now, and Steel is way too far. It's either it's going to be a clean take for ASC, or DFM will be able to secure nothing. It's going to be a free Baron for Ascension. DFM slacking off at a very crucial moment in the game.
Look at Seros' face. It's like he was surprised. He was genuinely surprised that they went for the Baron there. And yeah, that's right. The angle for the Scrying Orb was way off. Of course, they weren't expecting them to do Baron, right? So let's go for the safer play of using the Scrying Orb on the most wardable spots on this topside river. But that actually played into Ascension's favor. Very good power play, showing that Ascension is still in this game, but still 7k gold deficit. How are they going to use this Baron buff?
That's the big question, but ASC not crumbling to pressure. We'll have to see if they'll be able to use this buff efficiently. Probably going to try and push out their own lanes because they haven't secured a single turret yet.
Just one outer turret will actually be, which should actually be good for this Baron buff. It's not great, but it's enough when you consider the circumstances where they will get outpushed on any other circumstance where they don't have Baron.
Yeah, definitely true. Top laners still going to freeze here at bot lane, and Caitlyn trying to push upper with the help of that Baron buff. So far, 50 seconds till the next dragon. Not sure what that one is just yet. If it's another Cloud Drake,
it's gonna be
won't
very
be surprised.
I think there is like a pattern when, depending on the first Drake, not sure about that just yet. We'll be seeing which one spawns, which element spawns there in the bot side in half a minute. But for now, seems like Ascension going for a top lane push. It might backfire on them like it did earlier, but I think it's going to be...
Renren trying to escape there. Almost caught up, but Steel, again, with restraint, going to be moving back. Not much vision for both sides, so they'll probably try to reestablish some of that. And Dragon coming up in 15 seconds.
Just doing everything to make sure Ascension doesn't get too cocky. As soon as they reach that midpoint of the lane, someone shows up and says, "You can't go near our turret." And that pushes Ascension away from using their Baron buff. It's so good so far from DFM. Even if they lost that big objective, it's not phasing them a lot because Ascension is not in a position to really take advantage of that, except for the top lane here. They have to give up this top lane finally for Ascension, a little bit of respite.
Yeah, Nooney helping them to pressure out the bot lane there of DFM. But meanwhile, they're going to be trying to take this. Okay, it's not a Cloud Drake this time. It's going to be Ocean Drake, but nevertheless, it is going to be another free Drake there.
Well, that was a trade-off for the top lane.
For DFM, yeah, that's
so
true.
For now, I think that's worth it for Ascension. They don't want the regeneration from the Ocean Drake, because at this point, that regeneration won't do anything for them, but they do need that little bit of gold and map control from that top lane turret.
Yeah, freeing that top lane definitely going to help out. Maybe Renren will have more freedom to set up some teleport Cataclysm plays. We'll have to see. Mid lane pushing in right now. And ASC trying to secure another objective for themselves.
Oh,
There's
man,
going to be the flank there from Steel, and Lloyd very low. He's going to go down. There's going to be G4 as well trying to escape. He uses the package to escape, and there's going to be the Cataclysm. Is there going to be any follow-up there? Renren trying to move out Nooney, soaking up the damage. Still all the members of DFM are alive. The curtain call. Will it finalize a kill? Body block there from Renren. There's going to be the heal as well. Oh, not able to finalize. Oh, Steel moving in with the kill there. And Paz moving in as well. There's going to be another objective. 4 turrets taken out there by DFM, and still snowballing 23 minutes in. Man, it doesn't look like ASC can stop them even with that Baron
I
buff.
want to see how that fight started, because we didn't catch how that shockwave just started the fight, but that was such a good delivery. Or I didn't see if it was Seros actually who dived in by himself there, but whoever delivered that ball set up everything for Ascension. Ascension was not looking at something that might have come for them, and that shockwave just set everything up, completely annihilating. Let's look at that. Man, it was actually just Steel immediately going for it. And look at this. This is just straight up Ascension getting flanked very, very well. And then even the Cataclysm cannot stop Utapon from completely dishing out so much damage here. And the curtain call on all of these low members, so juicy. It slows them down as well. So Paz, and look at Steel here. Very, very gutsy. It does cost him his life, but I think it's worth it to get 1 kill and then take another turret. It's definitely worth it for DFM.
Yeah, and 24 minutes in, still things looking very good for DFM. Ascension yet to bounce back. They are showing a lot of guts though, but that flank was really crucial to DFM winning a pretty big team fight there. So they need to keep track of Paz and keep up the vision, so things like that don't happen, because really flanking from either Steel or Paz could really make or break a team fight here.
And they really got separated there. They were divided and conquered by Detonation Focus Me. Just straight up absolutely annihilated there. And as soon as Steel got that kill, first kill, it was a 4v5 definitely. So after that, no chance for Ascension to get back, because it was Lloyd being taken out. So that was half of their DPS. Half of their DPS taken down means that G4 is not enough of the damage carry, because these are 0-2 carries. A very high farm, but not enough damage to actually manifest that against this DFM team.
G4 is still going to need another 3rd item core maybe for him to really start dealing the damage, but for now, it's just going to be Lloyd dealing the damage, so he can't afford to be taken out at the beginning of a fight. Paz still pressuring this lane, keeping Renren from doing the flanks himself and losing this trade. Steel moving in. I don't know. Oh, curtain call. He's going to flash. Oh, the Q misses. Renren dodging skill shots left and right, but I think this is still going to be a kill. He goes down. Lloyd going to be here to respond. Steel taking turret damage. He's going to go down, actually, and Paz going to try and get away. Redemption there as well. Oh, and at the side, we're actually seeing Nooney going down. It's going to be a 2-for-1 so far.
Man.
Lloyd, he's going to go down. There's the Ignite just enough to take him out, and Warlock here trying to run for his life. Black Shield won't be enough to save him. And just like that, again, 4 kills.
And Paz lived so long there, and I like how he used the brush. Oh man, G4 might be getting a kill here, shut down, but he's now behind enemy lines.
Zeros still with the shockwave. He's going to be moving in, yes, and there's going to be the finalizing kill to ace ASC. It's going to cost a couple of lives from DFM, but that's surely going to be worth it.
That's definitely worth it. G4 got detonated.
Turrets.
5 turrets so far, with Ascension only taking away 1. I like how Paz was able to kill Lloyd there, because in any other situation, he would have just been slowly whittled down and killed. But because he was near that side of the bot side, he was able to use the brush to force Lloyd into going into melee, which meant that he was in a position to just kill him with the Titanic Hydra and the Sunfire Cape.
Yeah, definitely true. Well played there from DFM, still showing that unrelentless aggression since the early game. It all started with the Raptors, and it hasn't ended since.
There's no solace for Ascension anytime in this game. They cannot take us a minute to relax, because every minute that they try to recuperate, it's just DFM going for these dives, and now Baron is up. And I think DFM will not be allowing Ascension to get this one blindly.
No sneaky Barons this time, ASC, because they do have the upper hand. There's a positioning as well. Q. Wow, Q in. Warlock not afraid at all. And there's the Lantern Noonie moving in as well. But it seems like DFM are able to put down their own vision. Going to be cleared out a bit by ASC. But meanwhile, Paz down at bot lane.
Just continuing that push there in bot lane. Yeah, Paz is indefatigable here in the bot lane. And he can just constantly outpush Renren. Because at this point of the game, well, actually, in any point of the game, the strength of a Jarvan IV is in the burst damage, in the passive. But after that, after the martial cadence, after the flag and drag, there's no more damage coming from that.
Much left.
And now Paz can just completely, with a sword, just completely slash them down with sustained damage. So this bot lane will always be in Paz's favor. It will never come to a point where Renren will outpush Paz. Because if it comes to a brawl in the bot lane, between these top laners, Paz will always win. So Ascension has that disadvantage. It's going to be up to a teleport play from Renren with a huge flag and drag into Cataclysm to actually make the difference. But it's going to be very difficult, while DFM is playing them like a fiddle right now.
Yeah, ASC, they need to find that opening where Renren can use more of that utility, more of that engage. Oh, the package failing there. And he actually gets rooted. Is there going to be a kill here to finalize Steel? Moving in, beautiful kick there. And Saros is going to finalize the kill. Vivid moving in. There's a stand united. It's going to be chaotic here at ASC. They're not going to make it out alive. It's only Warlock out of the river right now. There's actually going to be Renren tanking a lot of damage, but he has no one to save. He's going to go down, and I think this is going to be a free Baron for DFM.
Man, 3 for 1 in favor of DFM. Wow. That was very... I don't know why G4 went all the way with a package too. And
was there vision there?
I think it was because he was trying to duel someone, and then he realized, okay, this is going bad for me. I'm going to really just fly out of here. But as soon as he flew out, the deadly after he escaped, the deadly flourish just locked him down, which opened up for Steel to go for a really clean safeguard into Dragon's Rage rather.
Man, hopefully we see a replay of that, but that was 29 minutes in, and the gold lead hasn't stopped going up. It's over 10k now, and ASC, they're running out of options. Corki still not dealing the damage he needs to.
Still not a lot of damage, even with 3 kills down his belt, i.e. Trinity Force, Rapid Fire Cannon. This is usually the point where an AD carry bursts targets down, even with you expect sustained damage. He just completely demolishes these fights. But let's take a look at what happened there.
There it is, G4.
Oh yeah, G4 got scared, and here he instantly dives into the Deadly Flourish, and that just sets everything up for Saris to get a good shockwave after Steel goes for the Dragon's Rage. After that, it's just by the books. Slaughter from Detonation Focus Me.
Definitely true, man. That was a really chaotic fight for ASC. You can see the river, vision everywhere there on the side of DFM.
Complete control.
Vivid reaching that point really makes it worrisome for ASC, because now the problem is it may not be that G4 can't deal the damage. It's just that he doesn't have the opportunities to deal the damage because he can't seem to reach the carries.
As soon as the death sentence connected, okay, I have to get out.
Yeah.
Uses the package to get out, and that actually spells the death of the rest of his team. So now DFM with a Baron, Paz is just completely out pushing this bot lane, and now the rest of his team now in a position to get the rest of the turrets. And now because they have the 2 Ocean Drakes, the regeneration will be huge. And as long as Ascension cannot get the poke in, and it's very difficult for them, because if they get within range, even the Rocket Barrage is dangerous, because it will be in range of any ball delivery from Steel and Saros.
Definitely 31 minutes in, and it looks like Yeah, the 4 Drakes of the game all going to DFM. No turrets left as well on the outside, so it's all about defending those inhibitor turrets now.
Yeah, stormy evening here for DFM with the Cloud Drakes and Ocean Drakes. And they are just using this maelstrom of Drakes to just completely outpush Ascension with their Baron buff as well, enhancing that siege that they can't pull off. It's so difficult for Ascension to actually get back. I think it's almost impossible. Because considering the team comp here, Ascension, of course, they can scale very well, 280 carries, but right now, DFM is just completely pushing them, choking them in. Look at that. Steel and Paz pulling 2 members here, and this is just delaying the inevitable here in the bot lane, because Paz and Steel can always survive a 2v2 between Renrin, Nooney, as well as these 2 other counterparts of DFM, while the rest of DFM pushing very, very quickly, very consistently here in this mid lane and top lane.
At this point, for ASC to win, there are no room for mistakes. 32 minutes in and barely holding on since yesterday. GPL still struggling, and there's going to be the curtain call. Lloyd actually getting targeted here. And the turrets going down slowly. There's going to be the Stand United. Nooney actually engaging there. Using the explosive cast, but Utapon able to move back there. Warlock very low and G-Force quite low as well. It looks like that's going to be... Oh, it's actually Steel moving in, trying to take down Renrin. Does he finalize the kill? Yes, he does. And there's a route onto Pass, but I don't even think that matters as the rest of the members taking out the inhibitors on the outer side. Steel actually going to be rooted down there. Going to be a couple of kills.
Oh, man. They're still going for it.
Oh, Paz still here. Can anyone kill him? He's actually really tanky right now as the rest of the members try to take out this inhibitor. It's going to be 1 inhibitor. It may have cost Steel's life, but so far, Steel has been going down, but giving DFM an objective every time. Utapon, you're getting locked in. There's the package used pretty much better this time, but he's going to have to move out Paz here. Still continuing to pressure. I can't believe he's still alive at this point.
Yeah, I can't believe Utapon is alive.
Yeah. Oh, there's a kill!
He lived with a sliver of health into the Warlord's Bloodlust proc. Well, Utapon has been surviving so much. Look at this build coming from the rest of his team. The Redemption to heal him up. This Locket of the Iron Solari as well. And the shield from the Safeguard. All of that. The shield from the Command Protect as well from Seros. You saw there, Utapon got juggled around around that corner of the gate there on the top side. He got juggled around with Explosive Cast. Got so much damage onto him. He actually was at some point 20% of his health.
Yeah.
But because of all the shields, the Redemption, as well as the Warlord's Bloodlust critting, that just put him back up at 70, 80%
I wasn't joking when I said there was a crap load of shields in pick and ban phase here for Jin. Utapon having the time of his life. He's only had 1 death this whole time.
And even though he only has 3 kills and more assists, he's dealing a lot of damage here for DFM, and he's been surviving. And if you're an 80 carry at this point of the game, it's more important for you to survive than to deal damage at this point, because you want to be able to survive so you can push down turrets much quicker. Yes, you will be dealing a lot of damage naturally, but you can't get too greedy, and that's what Utapon did. He had some restraint. He didn't go in for more greedy Jin damage. He just stayed alive with his Warlord's Bloodlust, and that was enough for them to actually just completely choke out Ascension there in the base.
Yeah, and with this many shields, so much protection for Jin, it really makes you wonder what ASC can do to reach the carries. Lloyd doesn't have that much going for him. He only has the peel from Nooney and Warlock, and it might not even be enough. Steel,
third inhibitor.
Almost taken out there, and there's going to be the command as well there coming in from Orianna, trying to find the perfect shockwave.
Paz still pushing this mid lane, and this third inhibitor will be the third and final nail in Ascension's coffin if DFM gets it. And look at that, they get it for free without even fighting.
No need for the Baron, no need for the Elder Drake.
They're just going to continue this.
Getting chunked down. Paz. No one can kill Paz. He's an immortal ninja right now. No one can take him out, and still
that's the toughest ninja I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, same actually. ASC continuing to turtle in here, and there's really not much left they can do. And like you said, this may be the final nail in the coffin, and ASC may have to pass the baton over to Gam once again. It's all a matter of finishing it off. There's the Redemption just to keep them topped up.
Camera giving us a little more cinematic angle for this final battle this upcoming. Right now, Ascension is just getting pushed into their base. We'll see how all that plays off.
DFM
seems like, DFM actually going to have some restraint there. Regroup, get the Elder Drake.
Yeah, they're going to be going, it's going to be the Elder Drake alive now. And that's going to be multiplying the effects of...
And then Baron after that.
4 dragons.
Because because Ascension cannot contest this in any way. They have 3 inhibitors down. All these super minions will just naturally pressure for DFM, which means 2 epic monsters easily for DFM. After this, they will naturally go for the Baron. Or they might even go for the finish.
Yep, they're moving in. Steel actually going over to the Baron side just to put down a ward. Maybe for safety, maybe they'll go for it.
This could be a teleport from Paz, because he's just going to continue going for that bot lane, right, to pressure. Now Ascension, they can't have any means to actually contest this Baron buff, and they will be going for the Baron very, very easily. With this much of a gold lead, 17,000 gold lead, 4 Drakes with the Infernal, with the Elder Drake on them. This is just complete slaughter from DFM at 37 minutes in the game.
Perfect
I think now they will just continue to choke out. They will just finish off Ascension at this point.
Perfect way to win, pretty much, for Detonation Focus Me. 2nd seed of LJL, really showing what they've got, and I think the region in general has really surprised a lot of those like myself who've been seeing this region pretty much for the first time. We haven't seen a lot from this region, but they're showing they can truly compete with a lot of the I would say they're probably enough to compete with a lot of the best.
Yeah.
Looking forward to
when I first watched the LJL like a year ago, they didn't seem too outstanding, but now with all their practice, with all their investments into their teams and their Korean imports, they're just doing so well here in Rift Rivals.
And the curtain call signaling the end possibly of this match. There's the package and the Stan United coming in. The Shockwave finishes off Renrin, and this is going to be pretty much the final fight. G4 trying to survive at the outer side, but there's nothing to save him there. Ladies and gentlemen, 2nd seed of LJL, Detonation Focus Me, looking to end this one and possibly the final step of the LJL to settling the rivalry. This is it. GG. Well played. Congratulations, DFM.
Man, let's see that Nexus detonating to celebrate this victory of this LJL team. Look at that. Look at the faces here of these teams. Let's see how they... But yeah, considering that last year I was watching LJL when it first started, the teams weren't too outstanding. But now looking at them, I think there's a lot of factors that get into this. Because even though Japan doesn't have a very rich, very deep PC gaming culture, the fact that at this point esports has progressed enough that companies, all these sponsors, and all these organizations are willing to shell out for Korean imports, for gaming houses, for investing into these teams and into these players' salaries, etc. I think that's what all of those reasons LJL has been performing so well in the international stage, and I want to see more of them in the international wildcard.
Same here. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the LJL will perform even after Rift Rivals has passed. But right now, the region's looking very strong. In fact, looking to be pretty much the one that settles this rivalry, being the one at the top of this tournament. But for now, we're going to be moving into the next game shortly. It's going to be the first C this time between C and LJL. It's going to be Gigabyte Marines versus Rampage. We'll have to see. We'll see hold on and lengthen this best of 5, or will it be the final game of this entire match? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Amplifier. I'm here with Atlas, and we'll be back after a short break.